Have you ever noticed how some people grow older, surrounded by love, while others push people away without realizing it? It's not about wrinkles or slowing down. It's about the sneaky habits we pick up over time. Habits that sabotage our happiness, health, and relationships. The scary part? Most of us don't even see it happening until it's too late. Meet Sarah. At 71, she thought she was just speaking her mind or being practical. But her sharp words, stubbornness, and clutter-filled home were quietly pushing her family away. By the time she noticed, her grandkids barely visited and her friends had stopped calling. But here's the good news. Sarah changed. And today you'll learn how to spot and fix these 12 ugly habits before they steal your joy. Habit 1. Becoming too negative or critical. Let's start with negativity. Sarah never thought she was negative. She just thought she was telling it like it is. But over time, her morning aches turned into all-day complaints. The weather was too cold, her knees hurt, and don't even get her started on the news. Soon, those complaints became the soundtrack of her life. At first, her family listened, but gradually they pulled away. Why? Because negativity is exhausting. It's like carrying a heavy weight with you wherever you go, and no one wants to carry someone else's burden. Solution? Start with gratitude. When Sarah started shifting from complaints to gratitude, it felt awkward at first. Instead of saying, "My knees hurt," she began saying, "I'm grateful I can still walk to the garden." Limit venting, Sarah gave herself permission to complain for 2 minutes, but then she focused on something positive. Ask questions. She stopped critiquing her grandkids' choices and started asking about their favorite games or hobbies. What happened next? Laughter filled the air once again. Habit 2. Ignoring personal hygiene. There's a saying, how you look is how you feel, but Sarah didn't always buy into it. She used to love dressing up, colorful blouses, her signature perfume. But somewhere along the way she thought, why bother anymore? She wore the same stretched out sweater for days. She noticed that strangers no longer smiled at her, and her daughter seemed to hesitate when inviting her out. That was her first clue. It wasn't vanity, it was self-respect. Solution: small wins matter. Start with small actions. Brush your hair, wear a favorite scarf, or spritz on cologne, even if you're just staying at home. Dress for yourself. Every morning, put on real clothes, even if it's just a clean shirt. It signals to yourself that you matter. Mindset shift. Dressing well isn't about impressing others, it's about honoring yourself. Habit 3. Resisting change. Sarah hated technology. When her family switched to texting, she resisted it fiercely. "Call me if you want to talk," she would say, while they sent her updates through text. But as time passed, the calls dwindled. She missed birthdays, photos, and inside jokes. She didn't want to admit it, but she was losing touch with the people she loved. Sound familiar? Solution: baby steps. Sarah began with small tech goals, like learning to send a text or share photos. It felt awkward at first, but soon she was texting back and forth with her daughter and grandkids, feeling more connected. Say "I'll try" instead of "I can't." Every time Sarah faced a new technology challenge, she changed her mindset. "I'll give it a shot" instead of "I can't do that." Habit 4. Hoarding clutter. Sarah's home had turned into a museum of just in case. Old magazines, broken appliances, and clothes she hadn't worn in years. But the clutter wasn't just physical, it weighed on her mind. She would stand in the middle of her living room, overwhelmed by the piles. When she finally took action, her family noticed a shift. The clutter was gone, and so was the tension that came with it. It wasn't just her home that was lighter. Her heart felt lighter too. Solution: the 1-minute rule. Sarah started small. Every day she tossed or donated just one item. By the end of the month, her home felt more spacious. Ask yourself, does this bring me joy or stress? If it stressed her out, it was gone. Habit 5. Losing patience. Sarah snapped at a slow cashier once, then saw his face fall. Later, when she was in the parking lot, she noticed the same cashier outside, juggling his groceries and a toddler. The moment hit her hard. He wasn't just a slow cashier, he was a father doing his best. Her impatience had blinded her to his humanity. This was a wake-up call. Solution: pause before reacting. Every time you feel impatience rise, take a deep breath and ask yourself, could they be having a tough day? Empathy shift. Sarah started seeing people's struggles rather than their flaws, and it helped her grow kinder. Habit 6, talking over others. Sarah's daughter finally said, "Mom, you don't listen. You just talk over me." Sarah was shocked. She thought she was just sharing wisdom, but her daughter had been waiting for a conversation, not a lecture. The realization hit hard, but it was a wake-up call that Sarah needed to be more present in her relationships. Solution: listen 70%, talk 30%. Sarah learned the art of listening more than speaking. She asked her daughter, "What do you think?" and waited for the answer. Reflect before responding. Instead of launching into advice, Sarah started reflecting on what the other person was saying. Habit 7, refusing help. Sarah was fiercely independent. She carried heavy bags, cooked big meals, and never asked for help. But when her back started aching, she realized that this pride was costing her more than she realized. One evening, after struggling to lift a heavy pot, she finally said, "Yes, thank you," when her neighbor offered to help her carry groceries. That small act of letting someone else help changed everything. Solution: say yes, thank you. It's okay to let others feel needed, and it opens the door to new connections. Allow vulnerability. Sarah's willingness to accept help made her feel less isolated. Habit 8, being too frugal. Sarah was frugal to a fault. She pinched pennies, skipped out on things she wanted, and always said no to extras. But when her friend, Emily, invited her on a weekend trip, Sarah was hesitant. However, once she went, she laughed harder than she had in years. Why did I wait so long, she wondered. That trip was more than just fun. It was a reminder that experiences matter more than savings. Solution: budget for joy. Sarah learned to carve out space in her finances for moments of joy. Invest in experiences. You can't take your savings with you, but the memories from a trip will last forever. Habit 9, sticking to old habits. As Sarah aged, she stuck to her old routine: same breakfast, same route to the store, same bedtime. It wasn't until one Sunday afternoon that she realized how robotic her life had become. Her daughter suggested they try something new, like a cooking class. At first, Sarah resisted, but after a few weeks, she found herself excited by new flavors, new people, and even a new way of thinking about food. Solution: try new things regularly. Sarah added variety to her life. New recipes, new routes, new hobbies. Take one small risk every week. Change doesn't need to be huge. Start small and notice the difference. Habit 10, focusing too much on the past. Sarah often found herself caught up in the good old days. She talked about how much better things used to be, how everything was simpler, and how her health was once perfect. But she realized something: living in the past wasn't making her happier. It was holding her back from enjoying the present. Solution: embrace now. Sarah focused on the present moment, appreciating the small joys of today. Create new memories. She started new traditions with her grandkids, making fresh memories that she could cherish. Habit 11, over-avoiding social interaction. Sarah became a recluse. She told herself she was too tired or didn't feel like it. But she soon noticed that the isolation was affecting her mental health. Her friends weren't calling anymore, and her family stopped inviting her out. The loneliness crept in slowly, but it was real. Solution: say yes to invitations. Even when you don't feel like it, say yes to social gatherings. Start small. Sarah started by attending short events, and little by little, she rebuilt her social circle. Habit 12, settling for less. Finally, Sarah realized she had been settling for a life that was smaller than she deserved. She had always been afraid to ask for more love, more fun, more freedom. But one day she asked herself, what if I could do more? That's when she signed up for painting classes and even joined a local hiking club. Life became richer and more fulfilling than she ever imagined. Solution: ask for more. Start asking for what you want in life, whether it's a new experience, a new hobby, or a deeper relationship. Go after your dreams. It's never too late to chase what truly matters to you. So there you have it, 12 habits that sneak up on us as we age, but can be changed with small, intentional steps. Like Sarah, you have the power to shift from negative patterns to new possibilities, to embrace joy, connection, and growth. If this video made you rethink some habits, share it with someone who might need this reminder. And remember, life is too short to settle for anything less than happiness. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories and practical tips. See you next time.